Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I visit 1820 House Candles in East Palestine, and Maria DeLosh shares her wedding cookie recipe with me. But first, an Oak Hill Cemetery tour. It's a fascinating history of Youngstown's forefathers. Well, this segment I have been wanting to do for quite a while. Bill Lawson, the executive director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, in October, you host Oak Hill Cemetery tours.
That is correct.
And we have a lot of historical figures here, but this year you're really going to concentrate on the architecture of the different grave sites.
The architecture of the whole cemetery, what the symbolism is of the various monuments, and the style of the mausoleums that we have here in the cemetery. So yes, we're going to look at it from a design standpoint and maybe talk a little history while we're at it too. Here you have a very interesting topography. It goes uphill to the south from downtown. You have almost a ravine here in the middle of it, and then another rise up on the north end of the cemetery. Now part of that is just, it's very scenic, but part of it too is if the farmer, Dr. Henry Manning, who owned all of this land at one time, this is probably his least desirable land because of the knobs and be very hard to till and to have pastures and whatnot on it. So he was willing to sell it to the cemetery.
Harry Burt, very famous man.
Yes.
You're in his digs now.
We have a very direct connection to Harry Burt. The Tyler Mahoning Valley History Center is in the building that he bought and developed into his primary retail store and candy and ice cream factory. And then his mother, Harry was born up in Trumbull County, near where Cortland is now in Bezetta Township, and his mother lived there. We don't know much about his father. We think that was a tragic situation in terms of not being there.
I think the mausoleums are like my favorite thing in here.
Yes.
Because like the whole family could go in, 5 or 6 crypts, right?
That's right, yeah.
And this is beautiful, this one, the Pollock.
Yes, what's unique about this one, there's many here, many different styles, but as far as funerary architecture is concerned, what better period to go back to than the ancient Egyptians? Yes. And that's what we have here for the William B. Pollock family mausoleum. Just a great example of shall we say, neo-Egyptian architecture, where you have the whole mausoleum is tapered upward. You have these wonderful tapered columns in the front with the reeds and flowers decorating it, and then the Egyptian god symbol across the header there. Well, this area on top of the hill around the flagpole is all burials of Civil War veterans. And so the Todd Post actually set aside and purchased all these plots for their members to be buried in. And so you can see most of them have military U.S. government issue markers on them. And what's also interesting is some of them go back to their death date, the 19th or early 20th century, and some people were buried here actually who didn't get markers, who were mostly African Americans. And so Stefan Jones, many years ago, started researching who these people were and applied to the Department of Defense and actually got government monuments for those soldiers that are buried here as well.
I like this part of the cemetery. It seems to be more even and level, and
yes,
look at all these markers.
Right, and you got another vista looking down into the hollow and up on the other side. This is a very interesting place. It's called the Circle, and you have this natural knob sitting on top of this hill here. And at one time there was a drive that went all the way around it. You can still see how it was cut out for the drive, and actually this place has some curbing for it as well. Looking out from beyond the knob, there's right against the wall there, all those burials which are in a row. That's called the Youngstown Township section. Now, there was a Youngstown Township from 1800 till about 1913 when the city of Youngstown incorporated all the land in the township. But prior to that, the township and the trustees were responsible for providing a burial place for residents, actually burying indigent people, taking care of that. And so that cemetery used to be located downtown. Now, as downtown grew into a city, they wanted to use that land for other development, so they began in the 1860s moving burials to here, and also all the burials for the township were done here from that point on. The only problem they had, and this is a little
Yes.
macabre.
Always a problem.
Always a problem. But when they started digging the foundations for these buildings on the old cemetery site, they soon realized they didn't get all the bodies out. And so they came across graves and they had to stop construction, bring the cemetery crew over and very carefully remove the bones and other things and bring them out here and rebury them.
So this is the highest point here in the cemetery.
Yes.
And this is where Governor Todd and his family are buried.
That's correct. This monument was erected after Governor David Todd passed away in 1868, and it's right on the northern edge of the cemetery, and because it's a knob, you would have had a great view of downtown.
This is one of your favorite monuments.
This is my all-time favorite. There's no comparison to it.
It's going to be my favorite too.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, it's a pink granite monument in 3 pieces. It's rough cut in the bottom, but when you get to the main part, it becomes much more finished cut. And then the cross form, the cruciform in it, is polished. So on the back here, you have the maker's mark, and it says copyright 1911, Tiffany Studios, New York.
I mean, really? Is that the way to go? Tiffany's? So this is where Olive Arms is buried?
She and her husband Wilford are buried here. Her parents, Charles and Hannah Arms, are buried here. And her sister and husband, that would be Catherine Arms and Alfred Rice, and then another sister, Carolyn, who never married, are all in this mausoleum.
I love this. I mean, they're really, really beautiful.
Yes.
We're coming upon your annual tour. So October 26th?
Yes, Saturday, October 26th, we will do our annual Oak Hill Cemetery walking tour. This is part of our History to Go series. The number is 330-743-2589, or we'll have something set up on our website, mahoninghistory.org, to help people get set up to come out here. Hopefully it'll be a good weather day like today.
Yeah, today's
but I'll tell you
beautiful.
what, we've been out here in a steady rain and we still get 100 plus people. So
I highly,
rain or shine.
highly recommend it. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Well, autumn is in the air, and I am here with Rue, the dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. And man, this is one of my favorite seasons, and you guys have got it going on.
Yes, we do. You know, when the seasons change, so does our menu change. So these are some of our new menu options we have here. These are our flatbreads. This is actually our smoked kibasi sandwich with some kibasi from Leitner's and Struthers, pierogies from the pierogi lady. And then this is our Caddy mac and cheese over here. So just some new items here, some new drink menu items for the fall to keep you warm during the cold days.
And we've got these huge screens. You've really expanded your coverage.
Yes. We added about 5 70-inch TVs. We got the NFL Sunday Ticket. So we'll have every game, Buckeyes, Browns, everything.
I'll tell you, this is your fall headquarters. Come on down to the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Buddy knows. For new floors, shop the Floor Store of Ohio. Choose from flooring that's Buddy safe, Buddy approved, and made in Ohio. Plus, take up to 24 months to pay, interest-free. Better brands, even better prices. You've got a Buddy at the Floor Store of Ohio.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service, independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. we'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life, trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
R&S Paint is a locally owned paint store and not a paint department. Inspiration comes easy when choosing exciting Benjamin Moore colors and finish. Over 3,400 vibrant and durable colors are yours at R&S Paint.
Today, Maria DeLost is joining me in the kitchen, and she is going to share with us her delicious Italian wedding cookies. Now, this is a recipe you got from your mom, Mary Danessa.
Yes, and we've modified the recipe over the years. We've tweaked it a little bit, and it's a very simple recipe. It's almost a no-fail go-to recipe that has never come out bad, so we're hoping it comes out good today. That we don't do something different today.
It's kind of humid out today. Does it like up itself? Is this affected by humidity?
No, it really isn't, because you refrigerate the dough. That makes it nice and firm, and that's why the cookies are nice and round and they don't flatten out.
For this recipe, you'll need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 large eggs, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, softened but not melted, and 1.5 teaspoons of almond, anise, or lemon extract. So the first thing we have to do is sift the baking powder, the flour, and the salt together. And my sifter, I think, is turn of the century. It's a pretty antique one. Now, while Maria sifts, why are these called wedding cookies?
They're called wedding cookies because they've always been like the mainstay in the traditional Italian wedding table or Italian cookie table. And I think everybody knows that the cookie table originated in Youngstown.
What are we going to do next?
And the next thing we want to do is, in the larger bowl, we want to beat the 3 eggs.
Okay, we beat them by themselves?
And you can beat them right into that bowl.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the sugar and then the butter. And the butter, like Casey said, we want to make sure that it's softened but not melted, because they'll be too runny if it's melted.
Okay. So we want these to be fluffy?
Nice and fluffy.
Okay.
So we added the 1/2 cup of sugar, and Casey's beating that up real good.
Okay, is
making
that
it
good?
Fluffy. It's good. And then we're going to add the 1/2 cup of butter.
Okay.
And we don't want margarine, and we don't want oleo. And then we're going to add our flavoring, and it's 1.5 teaspoons of either almond, or we're going to go with almond.
We're going to go.
Now, one time I made these and I didn't have almond extract, so you know what I put in? I put an amaretto liqueur, and they were, those were pretty darn good cookies.
I bet they were. You know what? I bet you this would be good with bourbon too. You know?
I'm going to add slowly, and we're going to try not to make a mess.
The big poof.
Like I do at home. And we're not going to overmix it, because I think, again,
Should I turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. So then we're just going to refrigerate this for about 1/2 hour.
Just keep it in the bowl?
We can keep it in the bowl.
Okay.
And then after that time, we'll make our balls.
All right, so this has been about an hour because we've been gabbing. We've taken it out of the fridge. Now so we just roll it.
Yeah, all we do is...
You make the first ball.
We roll it about 1 inch, as big as you want them. Make them nice and smooth, and then just put them on the parchment paper on the cookie sheet.
Is that too little?
Yeah, it's a little bit small, but that's okay.
The dough has been chilling for 30 minutes, and I preheated the oven to 350, and now we will put this on the middle rack. And how long are these going to bake?
It's just about 10 to 12 minutes, and I check them after 10.
Okay, because my
you don't
mom's
want to
oven
overbake
tends
them.
to run a little hot.
So while they're baking, we can start our frosting, which is also pretty simple. It's just 2 cups of powdered sugar that we have in the bowl.
All right.
A teaspoon of almond extract.
1 teaspoon. I'll tell you. Okay, and just 1 is enough?
1's enough. And then we're just going to add the powdered milk, or the milk to the powder.
And that's it. It's three
Sure.
3 ingredients.
Yeah, 2 to 3 tablespoons, and then you kind of have to watch it so you don't make it too runny. Yeah.
And all we'll do is when they're done, just
Dip them in
and then put some fancy
and
sprinkles
decorate
on.
them.
Well, Maria, my mother always shows up for the fun part. She, isn't here for the cleanup and the, all the work. But now we're going to decorate.
I know.
So we've cooled these. They're very cool. Nothing will melt on them. We made the frosting, and you saw that earlier.
Yes.
All these recipes will be all right. And then, so what do we do now,
So
Maria?
all we have to do now is I like to dip them, kind of swirl them around, and then we want to decorate them with whatever sprinkles you like.
Oh, I do like the little
ones
colored
are
balls. And then there's the, what are these called? Jimmies.
Jimmies, yeah.
That they put
Remember,
on
you used to like that on
yeah.
ice cream.
In Boston, they call
Yeah,
them Jimmies.
Jimmies.
They don't call them sprinkles. And, that's cute.
And then we also have, I found these at IGA, and they have every color in them.
Oh.
And they advertise them as every holiday.
Yeah, let's
That's
do the
sort of
green for
Oh,
St.
green.
Patrick's Day. No,
Cart-
or for Ursula, whichever way you want to go. Let's have a toast.
A salute.
Salute, Nostrovia. No.
These are very good. Light. Eat a ton of these.
And very simple. And you can see
Really?
it's not a lot of ingredients, not a lot of time.
Wow.
And we have a
And
good
they
product.
store well.
And
Thank
they
you.
do store well, and we didn't mess up. We're
No, we
100%.
didn't. A little light brown on the bottom, that's all you need. For the complete recipe for Maria's Italian wedding cookies, just go to my website, caseymalonshow.com. The frosting and the cookie ingredients are there. Maria, thank you for coming
They're wonderful.
into
Thank
the
you.
kitchen. Cheers. They're delicious. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I am blessed with a wonderful husband. He's stuck with me through thick and thin, and he's a fantastic father. So when he needed long-term care, not just any place would do, we did our research. Everyone said, trust the name you know, Briarfield. With all those locations, there's always one close. That made it easy for me and the kids to visit more often, Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Selling engagement rings never gets old. It's love.
It's a huge on-taping because they're going to wear that ring probably forever, but if they're not going to wear it forever, they're going to pass it down to somebody.
Our rings will hold a lifetime, and we want to make sure it does. We stand by every single thing that we sell. I believe I can find the perfect ring. I really try to get them exactly what she would want.
And to just be a little part of that is really, it warms your heart inside.
Get real, get Kamara. Buddy knows. For new floors, shop the Floor Store of Ohio. Choose from flooring that's Buddy safe, Buddy approved, and made in Ohio. Plus, take up to 24 months to pay, interest-free. Better brands, even better prices. You've got a Buddy at the Floor Store of Ohio.
Well, trying to tie down Melissa Smith is pretty tough because she's very, very busy. And about 10 years ago, one of my very first interviews for the Casey Malone Show was with Melissa right here in East Palestine at the 1820 House Candle Factory. And I cannot believe the expansion and how much you have grown. And I'm seeing you everywhere. And with social media, you have exploded. I mean, it has been what, 20-fold?
It's been,
that you have grown since then?
It's been a big deal. Yeah, you know, I started in basically a closet down here.
I know, and we got some of the old footage, so we have got to play some of that.
Yes, we were in like a closet, and we got some really big accounts that we landed for wholesale, and it caused some growth that was really positive, and so we had our first expansion from there. And then within the last 2 years, we had another growth spell, and we just took over this beautiful other side of our building, and we renovated it and made it our makerspace.
And I just love the look. I mean, you really do have a look about everything that you do regarding 1820.
Well, I feel like...
How would you explain it?
Well, here's how I feel. I've always, heard that saying, well, do what you love and you'll always be happy. And I kind of take that into consideration when we created this space where I work, because I thought if I gotta be here all the time, I want to enjoy it. And I want people to enjoy it when they come in. So I wanted the space to reflect our personality as well as, the vibe I want to create. And so this hopefully is a reflection of that.
I mean, it's very calming. And it's very neutral, but it has just a very hip vibe. Is your home like this?
Well, we have a very historic house.
Let's check on that. Her daughter's here.
We're in the process. We're in the process of doing some updates there. So maybe we could do a segment somewhere in the future. But
streamlined too are your candles now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you really have the same look, lends itself to the way your candles are.
I'm really a big stickler about branding, and I've always been adamant with any kind of new business out there that's looking to, try to expand or make it. The branding is very important, and so we take care to reevaluate our line every, few years to make sure that we are up with the trends, that we're competitive, that we are appealing to the buyer and the consumer, and so we're constantly doing product development, testing, working with our designer, and helping bring those things to reality.
Now, what are the difference between the three collections? You have, this obviously is your largest collection, but then you have the Bee Elixirs and the Rust Belt.
Right. Okay, so our largest collection is our signature collection, and we have the most variety in this collection. You're going to have your spices, vanillas, fruits, and florals, and so that's our staple. And we also have this collection, which is our aromatherapy collection. So if you are more into the natural smells, you like essential oil blends and some perfume grades that we use, because we don't like to deplete, obviously, all the nature's bounty, so some of these are lab created. So,
yes.
But they're very complex and they're very natural smelling and unique. And then our Rust Belt collection It was just a fun thing to do. It's something that was
I
an
love
homage
this.
to our region and the Rust Belt, and so each scent has its own scent and story, and it's just kind of fun.
And you know, these are really fun facts. Did you know that Ohio was the 17th state to join the Union? I did not know this.
Right.
And I love the story. And One Tough Cookie because
of
a variety of reasons.
Because they're resilient in Youngstown and because of the Italian cookie table. And we do offer a free shipping on a certain amount that you purchase. So if you can't make it down to East Palestine, you know, we make it so that you can, you know, shop online.
And you know, online shopping is huge.
It is.
And you know, and candles are perfect and they're easy to ship, aren't they?
They are. They're easy to ship, and honestly, what else feel-good item could you purchase?
Everybody loves candles.
Everybody likes it. It's relaxing, it's enjoyable, and it's an inexpensive way to have something special for yourself.
What is the biggest lesson that you have learned in your journey?
My journey. Well, I can
It's been
tell you,
quite a journey.
It has been. It's been quite a journey, and I guess my thoughts are this: you have to love what you do. You have to be persevere to, you know, stick with it. You also have to have vision. You have to think outside the box and take chances. And honestly, I've had some fails and I've had some winning moments, and so those are all learning experiences. And I encourage people that if you're, you know, they're passionate about something, if you really work hard and put the effort in, it's totally possible.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.